Okay, so other things that you have to take note in assessing the clients or involve or have engaged themselves in substance abuse are, of course, aside from disappearing money or valuables, they use room, deodorizers, and incense, and others. You have to take note also that people who, most of them, all right, would resort to lying, okay, or persistent lying. You have to take note of this. Okay, number six is persistent lying. Okay, so persistent lying about how much alcohol or other drugs he or she is using. So, madalas magsasabi sila ng amount, magsasabi sila ng frequency, or magsasabi sila ng interval of intake, but actually mas mababa yung sinasabi nila as compared to the actual amount or to the actual level of alcohol or drugs that they're taking in. At the same time, number seven, you have to take note that these people would, somehow avoid, okay, family members or friends in order to get drunk, okay, in order for them to have a, you know, uh, um, a separate venue, maybe, okay, or to have a alright, to have a me time, okay, para dun sa kanilang pag-inom o kaya dun sa kanilang droga, okay? Avoid family and friends, alright? What else? Okay, you have to remember, class, that they plan to drink in advance. They hide alcohol or they drink or use other drugs alone, getting drunk or high on drugs on a regular basis, okay, with frequent hangovers, okay? So they plan to drink in advance. Okay, drink in advance. At the same time, class number nine that you have to assess from these people is that they have to drink more to get the same high. Okay, have to drink more. Okay, to get the to maintain the tolerance level. Okay, o yung sabi nga natin last time, if they are used to drinking 5 bottles of beer, okay, for a 1 year period, mas tumataas ngayon yung level or amount of alcohol that they would like to take for them to, satisfy themselves and achieve that high that they want to have. Okay, what else? They believe that in order to have fun, you need to drink or use other drugs. Okay, so fun is equivalent to the use of, okay, substance. Okay, to the use of substance. So they define fun. They are not. They no longer experience satisfaction, euphoria, or happiness when they do not use now this prohibited substances. Okay, so at the same time, they are risk takers. Okay, they are risk takers during this time, which involves also, okay, sexual risk. Okay, the involvement now of sexual risk. That's why mapapansin ninyo na bumaba yung crime rate. Okay, related to rape. Okay, and ano pa yon, concubinage and adultery. Okay, so yan yung mga, kasi malakas yung loob ng isang tao na pumatol sa may asawa, ganyan. Okay, especially if the partner is away, okay, nasa abroad, nasa malayo, nag-work sa malayo. Okay, dahil nga wala silang inhibition and they are risk takers during the time na sila ay tawag dito, high, okay? O meron ng involvement of these substances. I remember actually a case in this is from Tulfo na yung lalaki is in Taiwan tapos yung babae na iwan dito. They have, I think, 3 children here in the Philippines, and since medyo hindi ata pa nakakauwi itong asawa, yung lalaki who's working in Taiwan. Okay, naging close itong si wife niya doon sa brother, okay, nung asawa. So naging close siya kay Bayaw until such time na si Bayaw doon na natutulog. Okay, at inisip naman ng mga kapamilya nila na wala namang mali siya dahil nga magbayaw, maghipag naman sila. But there came a point na nabuntis itong si babae, okay, and allegedly, okay, ay anak nga daw ito ng bayaw niya. Okay, and they during the investigation, they found out that yung si bayaw pala ay ano din involved siya sa droga. Okay, so patakas-takas, ganyan dahil na medyo mahal na rin ang bentahan ngayon because of limited supply. Okay, so supply and demand, ano tayo, no, yung supply and demand na tawag dito, if there is a less supply, mas mataas ngayon yung demand niya, mas mataas yung presyo. So ganun ang nangyayari ngayon sa market dahil to konti ang supply ng shabu, mas mahal na ang bentahan nito. So that's the effect actually of taking drugs, okay, such as shabu. Nawawala yung inhibition natin, and with the loss of inhibition, mas nag-take tayo ng risk, okay, especially involving ourselves in sexual activities. So what else? People who are engaged in this kind of substances or prohibited substances are most likely to get in trouble with the law. Okay, trouble. Okay, with the law. So mas mataas yung chances or the possibility for these people to involved in breaking the laws, the policies of the land, and etc. What else? They would most likely be suspended from school or work for an alcohol or drug related incident. Okay, may nakainom na papasok, nakakain na papasok, okay, or hindi makakoncentrate because of these substances that he or she is taking in. So, naalala ko din ito, I have a colleague before, okay, na talagang hindi na nagiging parte na ng buhay niya ang pag-inom ng alak. Actually, he cannot work properly and efficiently if uh, walang alcohol, okay, sa kanyang katawan. And he would engage in these alcoholic activities, siguro 3 times or 4 times a week. Ayan. So, ganun ang nangyari, na-involve na itong si colleague doon sa pag-inom madalas ng alak until such time na, he would test the water, okay, na tawag dito, susubukan niya pa konti-konti, napapasok na nakainom, okay, at hindi naman siya mahuhuli agad-agad. At the same time, hindi din siya naisusumbong dahil maganda nga din siya, magaling siya makisama sa ibang tao. So, hindi talaga nai-report din yung kanyang activities until when he resigned from work, doon na nagsilabasan yung mga reports na yun nga, this colleague would um, report to the workplace na medyo nakainom may tama at medyo lasing. All right. So these are the things that you have to take note also, since these people are prone to commit, okay, violations, okay, against authorities. So yun nga, they get into trouble with the law, they get suspended from work, from the school, okay, because of this drug related incidences. All right, what else? You have to take note also that people who are constantly or would involve themselves from this prohibited substances would have needle marks. All right, may mga marka ng needle sa so because they inject now these addictive substances, or destruction of their nasal septum, okay, of nasal septum. All right, ayan, makikita mo medyo may gas-gas, okay, yung entry point yung dito sa may pasukan, yung entrance area ng ilong, okay, dito sa may gitnang bahagi niya. Alright. What else? Medyo malat. Okay, or meron silang vocal hoarseness or hoarseness. Alright. because of these inhalants, okay, yung mga substances na ini-inhale din nila. They would also wear, okay, long sleeve shirts even in warm weather. Alright, so mapapansin mo, they wear now long sleeves, okay, or jackets, okay, pero hindi ito yung ano, yung mga kapatid din natin from the uplands sa highlands na talagang ano din, ginawin sila. So even in pag nandito sila sa baba, I remember yung mga classmates kong igorot, okay, when I was in grade school, talagang kahit ang init, naka-ano sila, naka-jacket. And yun nga, talagang ginawin yung mga taong ito din. Okay? So, you have to be very careful also in your assessment na baka maka-discriminate din tayo ng ibang ng mga tao na pinapractice naman talaga nila or nagiging parte na ng kanilang buhay yung pagsuot ng mga ganitong bagay. So, pag very unusual naman yung tao na dati-dati naman hindi siya gano'n, tapos biglang summertime, nagla-long sleeves or nagla-jacket siya, alright, during the summer, okay, iba naman yun. It's a different case. All right. So what else? They have history of acting out. Okay. They have history now of acting out. What else? Hallucinations. All right. Hallucinations. They also have increased sexual activity. Okay. So dati-dati naman hindi sexually hindi naman sila nag-provoke sexually. Alright, but during this time na nakapag-take na sila ng alak, nakapag-take na sila ng prohibited substances, they now have an increased sexual ideation, right, or involvements. At the same time, they have paranoid ideations. Okay? Ayan. So, mas praning na sila after the intake of these drugs. At the same time, they require, okay, so pag na-hospitalize sila, na-confine sila, they require higher dosages, okay? They require higher dosage of pain medication. You have to take note, pain medications, alright? So, ayan po ang ating assessment cues when dealing with the patients who are taking now prohibited substances or addictive, okay, chemicals. All right. So, what else? Aside from your assessment, you have also there are laboratory tests, okay, that wherein certain abuse and addicting substances can be detected in the urine. All right. So, napaka-importante that you remember this laboratory test, okay, to confirm whether the client is taking in, okay, this prohibited drugs, okay, or even medications. And actually, it can be seen or it can be assessed, okay, during their routine, okay, laboratory testing. So your opioids, okay, you have to take note that your opioids, your morphine, okay, these are your pain medications, your meperidine or your demerol, okay, meperidine or your demerol, demerol is a brand name, including your methadone, okay, methadone. These are now your opioid drugs, okay, plus, all right, your stimulants like your amphetamines, all right, and your cocaine can be detected in urine, okay, from 2 to 4 days, okay, after ingestion, okay. So it can be detected in your urine, all right, or in the urine of your patients, okay, 2 to 4 days after ingestion, all right. So these are now your opioids, including now your stimulants, your amphetamines and cocaine, which can be detected 2 to 4 days after ingestion. While other drugs, okay, like your depressants, ayan, yung ating depressants, including especially now your barbiturates, okay, can be seen or can be detected in your urine starting, okay, 12 hours after intake until 3 weeks, okay. So pwede siyang makita, ma-detect sa inyong ihi, or during your in your urinalysis, okay, starting 12 hours, okay, after intake up until the third week, okay. While your benzodiazepine, okay, benzodiazepine, okay, which is a depressant as well, can be seen, okay, up to 1 week, okay, can be seen in your urinalysis up to 1 week. All right. So yan po ang ating mga depressants. Okay. Next would be your marijuana. Okay, so these are now your hallucinogens. Okay, yung Mary Jane natin or your marijuana can be detected, okay, in your urine from, okay, starting 3 days but less than 1 month. Okay, less than 1 month. All right. So these are now tests. Okay, na uh, this is now the duration, okay, of time or the period of time which wherein these substances can be detected through urinalysis. And you also have now your PCP, okay, yung PCP natin. Okay, so your PCP or your pencyclidine, okay, pencyclidine can be seen, all right, from day one, okay, of intake until 1 month, all right, day one up to 30th, until the 30th or 1 month. So ito yung ginagawa, okay, natin na routine activity for those who are applying for work, minsan for those who are applying for a driving job, okay, or pumapasok sila sa mga healthcare related na jobs, okay. We have to, check, all right, whether these people who are applying to us are fit to work. At the same time, they do not take in prohibited substances or addictive chemicals as well. All right, to make sure that they will be very effective and the line of work that they would like to uh, apply in. Okay. All right. So the things that you have to take note in cases of emergency or the signs and symptoms of that require immediate medical attention in cases of emergency are the following. All right. So kailangan tatandaan natin that, all right, there are, okay, number one, this should be very alarming on the part of the healthcare provider if they have thoughts, okay, and verbalization of harming themselves or others, okay, thoughts and verbalizations of harming, okay, themselves, okay, or other people. Okay, number two, kapag ang isang tao engaged in, okay, these activities would, suffer from chest pain, meron silang pananakit ng dibdib or angina, all right, rapid heartbeat, so tumataas ng at least 120, okay, yung tibok ng kanilang puso, all right. At the same time, may DOB, difficulty of breathing, and lightheadedness. Okay, so these are now signs and symptoms. These are now signs, okay, that this patient may be suffering from a an adverse effect of this prohibited drugs. Okay, there is also severe abdominal pain. Okay, severe abdominal pain. All right, so at times, nagiging basis natin yung abdominal pain as parang nagiging clue yung abdominal pain to an impending myocardial infarction. So almost all patients suffering or who have suffered from myocardial infarction have, okay, or have had severe abdominal pain. Okay? So, minsan parang sobrang tawag dito, parang ano nga yung description nila, parang nadadaganan ng elepante. Okay, yung kanilang dito sa may tawag dito, apex of the heart extending dito sa may chan. Okay, but actually ang presentation nila is severe abdominal pain. Then eventually malalaman natin na naku, ano pala yan, myocardial infarction pala siya. Okay, so what else? Confusion and hallucination should also be uh, considered. Kailangan pag confuse yung ating pasyente, or there are now episodes of hallucinations, and you have to be very careful. Kailangan alam mo ang gagawin mo, because this might lead to, ayan na, harming, okay, lead to the harming of self or harming other people, because they are now, okay, on a state wherein confused sila dun sa kanilang reality. Okay? What else? They have severe tremors and or recurrent seizures. Okay? Recurrent seizures. At the same time, now they have difficulty speaking. Okay, difficulty speaking. What else? All right, difficulty speaking. There is numbness, weakness. Okay, severe headache. All right, severe headache. Okay, visual changes or trouble keeping balance should also be assessed. Okay, as um, an emergency cue. Okay, or as a cue for an emergency medical, okay, case. At the same time, severe pain at the injection site. Okay, severe pain on the injection site. Okay, like for example, may mga signs of redness, swelling, or a unusual discharge coming out from the injection site. At the same time, may fever. These are signs actually of inflammation, and it should be reported as well. And last would be a dark, okay, cola colored, okay, dark cola, okay, cola colored urine. Alright. So yan ang mga dapat nating i-assess. Okay, so in attending to patients with substance abuse issues, maraming mga nursing diagnosis na pwede nating gamitin din. Okay? Just like for example, acute confusion, okay, related to pwedeng global changes as a result of substance abuse, pwedeng altered family processes, alright, depending on the reason of the client, okay, or on the cause of the addiction. So sabi nga natin kanina, last time, that people who engage in in these substances are actually coming from tawag dito, families who have difficult experiences inside the home. Okay, so pwedeng altered family processes. So it might be related to anger, pwedeng frustration from the client's negative response, okay, or inability of that client to adjust, okay, from the situation or experience. Pwede rin siguro i-consider natin altered nutrition if the client, kasi may mga substances kasi na nakaka-cause din ng pagpayat, okay, or pag-lose ng weight. Especially, I think, shabu, nakakapayat ang shabu, okay? Dahil yun nga, nakakain na sila, hindi na nila nararamdaman yung gutom. At the same time, yung I think, based on what I've heard, okay, and what I've read also, yung marijuana daw ay nakakataba naman. Okay? So anxiety also can be a diagnosis, defensive coping, like for example, denial, okay, or projection of blame. Okay, hindi pa pala natin natapos yung mga defensive. Ano? So we will have a discussion on that later. So at the same time, the difficulty or disturbed sleep pattern can also be a problem. All right. Impaired environmental interpretation syndrome, impaired home maintenance, okay, impaired social interaction because of their there is now a too much engagement with these substances, okay, wherein wala na silang time to engage with other people, or they are afraid of judgment, okay, or they are afraid that they might cause harm, to these people once, okay, these substances would now set in, okay, in their body. Okay. All right. So for general interventions, okay, so we have to take note that there is a principle of drug addiction treatment. Okay, there is now a principle of drug addiction treatment, or your PDAT. Okay, in your PDAT, okay, the ultimate goal of your drug addiction treatment is to enable the individual to achieve lasting abstinence. Okay, we are achieving lasting, okay, abstinence, or dapat hindi na dapat nagdodroga or umiinom yung ating, okay, yung ating pasyente or yung ating client. That's our ultimate goal. And the immediate goals are to reduce, okay, drug abuse, okay. Of course, hand in hand with our lasting abstinence, hindi naman natin ma-achieve yan agad-agad, okay. It will be a gradual, but of course, the additional goal or the immediate goals that you have to take note is, of course, to reduce now the involvement of the person to drug or alcohol abuse. At the same time, improve the quality of function. Okay, improve the quality of function. Siyempre, impaired ng kanyang social interaction, impaired na yung kanyang impaired na yung kanyang physical and emotional state, yung kanyang psychological state. And one immediate goal that we have to take note is improvement of the quality of function, the quality of daily functioning, yung kasama sa kanyang magulang, sa kanyang mga kaibigan, at yung pagtingin niya sa kanyang sarili as a person. At the same time, to minimize now, alright, you have an immediate goal to minimize the medical and social implications, okay, and social implications of drug abuse and addiction. So these are the three things that you have to, maintain. At the same time, you have to employ for us to have or to achieve now the goal of PDAT, which is lasting or forever na hindi na siya mag-engage doon sa drug o kaya doon sa alcohol, okay, na kinaadikan niya. So you have to remember also, class, that there is no single, okay, so all right. Number one, class, is there is no single, all right, treatment that can be used, okay, for all individuals who are involved in this abuses of substances or chemicals. So treatment should be individualized according to the need of patient. No single treatment for, okay, drug abusers. All right. Number two, okay, that you have to remember is that treatment needs to be readily available, because treatment applicants may be lost if no treatment is available when they need it. Okay, treatment should be, okay, readily available. All right, that is why you now realize the importance of having this rehabilitation facilities done by the Duterte administration, because yun nga, yung dati ang nangyayari, yung mga pasyente natin from Northern Luzon will still be transferred, okay, or transported papunta dun sa Manila, because only in Manila, okay, or sa Manila lang yung available na treatment or rehab facilities natin. But today, okay, marami nang naipapatayo pa konti-konti na rehabilitation centers, okay, para just to for us to comply also with our PDAT principle number two, which is the readiness, okay, or the availability of treatment facilities, okay, for our patients. All right. Uh, okay, so yun yung ating kailangang tandaan, number two. Number three is that effective treatment attends to multiple needs of the individual, not just his or her addiction, but also treatment should include associated medical, psychological, social, vocational, and legal problems of the patients. Okay? So, sabi nga natin kanina, interrelated kasi yung kanyang mga problema in the past, yung kanyang mga nararanasan at present, doon sa kanyang present state, Okay? So, nabanggit natin noon that it can be biological in nature ang cause ng kanyang addiction. It can be familial issues. It can be pressure from friends, okay, from relatives, okay, or from the people around him or her. So, hindi natin ina-address yung kanyang involvement into these substances alone, but also we have to consider as well yung mga related factors or related issues, okay, that may help us assess the gravity of the problem. Okay? Number four is that an individual's treatment and services plan must be assessed often and modified to meet the person's changing needs. Okay? So, yung kind of management or intervention natin na ginagawa during month one is the different from our management doon sa month 2, month 3, month 4, especially if the patient is okay, ay nakikitaan din naman natin ng improvement, okay, during their, tawag dito, during their confinement. Okay. Number five is that remaining in treatment for an adequate period of time is critical for treatment effectiveness. So generally, significant improvement is seen after 3 months. Okay. And you have to take note that strategies to promote treatment adherence should be employed. All right. Strategies, okay, in treatment adherence, okay, should also be taken into consideration because as you all know, as a um, these clients, okay, sabi nga natin yung mga kliyenteng involved in this kinds of drugs, para silang mga toddler na napakaliit na kanilang attention span. Okay, they get they get bored easily. At the same time, napakababa ng kanilang pasensya, ng kanilang pag-intindi. That is why you cannot employ a single strategy in this in their treatment adherence, okay, I for them to adhere in your treatment. Okay. As a nurse, you have to be very flexible, kailangan creative ka, and kailangan napaka-observant mo din. Okay, dun sa mga pangangailangan ng pasyente. So, no single treatment pala ito. Ano ba yan? Okay, napakahirap mag-lecture habang nagsusulat dito sa ano. But anyway, ayan nga, sabi natin, it would take several months, minimum of 3 months usually for these clients to, bago natin makita yung improvement or yung mga changes sa kanila. That is why, okay, napakahaba para sa kanila ng 3 months na makikitaan mo ng pagbabago. At the same time, mararamdaman din yun ng ating healthcare worker. That is why, okay, it is recommended that several or multiple strategies should be considered, okay, or should be included in the plan, okay, of management. Okay, for these clients to adhere para mapasunod mo sila dun sa inyong treatment regimen. Number six is that counseling and other behavioral therapies are also critical components of virtually all effective treatment for addiction. Okay, so counseling, ayan, walang katapos ang counseling and behavioral therapies. Okay, behavioral therapies. Included here is your cognitive behavioral therapy. So, sa cognitive, we will be attacking now yung pag-iisip ng pasyente. Behavioral, yung kanyang ginagawa o yung kanyang action. So, in your cognitive behavioral therapy, we will try, okay, or we will try to para baliin, okay, we will try to change, okay, or to modify the mindset, okay, of the client or the person involved. At the same time, pag na-modify na, nabago na yung mindset ng ating pasyente, nag-iiba din eventually yung kanilang behavior, okay, towards siguro yung kanilang perception towards drugs, okay, yung prohibited drugs, yung kanilang perception dun sa sitwasyon, okay, when they are actively involved, okay, in this drug-related activities, mga ganyan. So, nagbabago. Pag once na nabago mo yung isip niya, eventually nagbabago din yung kanyang behavior or yung kanyang actuations. Alright? So, that is now the goal actually of your cognitive behavioral therapy. Alright, so there are actually a lot of uh, components of your PDAT or your principle of drug addiction treatment, and that would also involve now the treatment programs. Okay, should provide assessment for other medical conditions like HIV, AIDS, hepatitis B and C, tuberculosis, and other infectious diseases. And we nurses are responsible for providing now counseling activities to help these patients modify or change their behaviors that places themselves or others at risk of infection. So, wala na kasi silang awareness at the same time, bumababa pa. There is a possibility for these people to have a lowered or decreased okay, resistance against diseases or humihina yung kanilang immune system. That is why, alright, madali silang kapitan ng ibang mga sakit. At the same time, yung ginagamit nilang mga injectables, okay? Pasapasahan sila ng syringes, okay? And that would make them very prone to suffer or to contract now, all right? Diseases, okay, such as HIV, AIDS, hepatitis B, okay, na pwedeng mailipat through blood transmission. Okay? So at the same time, as is the case with other chronic or relapsing diseases, recovery from drug addiction can be a long-term process. You have to take note of this. Mahabang proseso ito. It would take years, okay, or even decades, depending on the type or depending on how much drug or alcohol has been taken by that person. And typically, it requires multiple episodes of treatment, including booster sessions and other form of continuing care. Alright? So, mahabang proseso, may kailangan din ng mahabang pasensya from the healthcare workers attending to these patients. All right. So next would be medications. All right. Take note that drug therapy is used during detoxification phase to treat withdrawal symptoms and to help your patient diminish the cravings in order to prevent relapse. Okay. So medications, all right. Yung mga antidotes natin, okay, ay hindi ginagamit during the first phase. Ginagamit siya kapag nagde-detoxify na tayo. We will be discussing the phases later on, okay? And yun nga, yung behavioral treatments natin, like for example, in cognitive behavioral, family therapy, psychotherapy, um, contingency management for outpatient treatment, and our home visitation are very important in the plan of care, okay, for these patients. So our nursing interventions class for clients, all right, suffering or who uh, had involved themselves in in this in these activities, yung pag-take ng mga prohibited substances, is that we have a big role actually as nurses. And one of the most important role that we can give our patient is our support in the patient's struggle towards abstinence. Okay? So kailangan tulungan natin from day one up until the recovery or hanggang dun sa makitaan natin sila ng ang tawag dito, makitaan natin sila ng changes, okay, or improvement. All right. So, as a nurse, we should not do okay one of the following things, okay, such as example, arguing with them, scolding them, all right, or blaming or threatening them. All right, these are the things that you should not be doing to these patients. Next is we should not lose our temper. Okay, we should be very understanding, loving, and patient as possible. Okay, so maximum tolerance. Kasi pag pinatulan mo ito, parang wala ka na rin pag pinagkaiba sa kanila. Alright? So we should not lose our cool, okay, when dealing with this patient. So next is to allow person to cover up consequences of action. We should not cover up. We should not, okay, kahit may ano tayo, medyo related tayo to the or minsan naawa tayo. Okay, naawa tayo dun sa ating pasyente. Never ever, okay, cover up their actions because or their mistakes, okay, yung kanilang mga uh, ginagawang hindi maganda. Because later on, it might have an effect, okay, dun sa tiwala, okay, ninyo sa isa't isa. At the same time, yung tiwala din ng inyong okay ng mga ng management, okay, ayan, at ng ibang mga pasyente din. Alright? We should not be overly sympathetic. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng naaawa lang din tayo lagi. Alright? Sa kanila. Dahil, yun nga, the tendency is they will get this chance or this opportunity to make out, okay, or to act out. Alright, make out na. Ayan, so to act out. So magdradrama yung mga yan. Okay, gagawa sila ng mga scenario just to get your approval. Alright, so pwedeng maging dahilan din ito para, you know, maging mas lax ka, maging tawag dito, yes, maging lax ka din sa kanila. Alright, ayan. So ito yung mga bagay na kailangan din nating tandaan. Alright, so avoid judgmental comments and criticisms, your vague statements, personal statements, because research have shown that confrontational attitude can cause, okay, confrontational attitude can cause, ayan. So, lagi nating tatandaan that a confrontational attitude, alright, can cause a high level of resistance. Alright, confrontational attitude, alright, is equal to your high level of resistance. Alright, so mas lalang hindi mo mapapasunod yung pasyente mo, okay, sa mga activities, alright, sa mga plans, okay, if you have a very strict, okay, and confrontational, okay, behavior towards them. Okay, so for you to gain their trust, ayan, for you to gain their trust, for you to gain their cooperation, you should demonstrate genuine concern and focus on the behavior of the patient. So use an empathic counseling style. At the same time, you provide options, okay? Your suggestions or advice rather than directives unless the patient is cognitively impaired. Okay? So, hindi naman siya, yung mga pasyente naman natin na nasa rehab are not actually psychotic unless, okay, sila ay diagnose, okay, ng schizophrenia, alright, or mas madalas na yung episodes of hallucinations, then you can actually tawag dito, you can now um make or be part of the decision making. Pwede kang maging advocate of that patient. But of course, majority of our patients naman in the rehabilitation centers, okay, are can actually decide for themselves. All right, that's why you have to provide options, choices, okay, and you can make or you can offer your suggestions as well. Okay, so being alert to defense mechanisms used by your client. So marami ang pwede nilang gamitin. And kailangan aware ka that these defense mechanisms used, okay, at the moment, because you know pwede kanilang paglaruan, okay, being the nurse, taking care of them, at especially if you weren't able to detect, okay, immediately that defense mechanisms are actually used by the client already. So helping the patient to develop coping skills, like helping patient to prepare for the changes that he has to make in his life. Like for example, our goal, which is abstinence, can result in real losses such as leaving or avoiding friends or significant others who continues to abuse drugs. So for a long period of time, syempre may mga nagiging kaibigan na yung mga yan, okay, na addict din, na alcoholics din. So, mahirap bumitaw minsan, especially if you're attached to these people already. That is why the first thing that you have to do is to develop now strategies on how you can detach your patient from his or her friends na continuously involved in, okay, taking this prohibited drugs and tawag dito, these substances. So, you also help the patient to identify high-risk situations that trigger urges or cravings. So, for an alcoholic, it could be a corner bar or a alcoholic party.